Welcome to this tropical update recorded on July 10th, 2019. Today we're going to be talking about Potential Tropical Cyclone 2. Many of you were wondering about what this notation means. This notation is used by the National Hurricane Center because the storm has not yet been classified as a tropical system, but it is forecast to do that very soon, and it allows the National Hurricane Center to put out watches and warnings, giving more people time to evacuate and prepare before this storm. So here we have a satellite loop of potential tropical cyclone 2. The first thing we can note from this is that the circulation has started to tighten up on both sides of this system, much better than what it was yesterday. And that's just due to the fact that it's now over water and that there's less land interaction. And so this is going to help it start its formation process, start to form a core and things like that. The original thought was that this area in here could be the core, but recently the National Hurricane Center sent hurricane hunters into the system to investigate the wind profile. And this is what they found. They found what could be 3 different circulations, low-level circulations in this storm, all kind of spinning around in the more broad general rotation of this storm. So what this is going to do in terms of forecasting is that it's going to confuse the models because it's forcing them to pick between one of these 3 as to be the center circulation that will start to form and start to develop the system around that circulation. So you can see here with the models is that it's causing them to go kind of haywire and pick locations for landfall just all throughout the area. Recently, earlier in the day, this was done before the models were able to get that data from the National Hurricane Center. But you can see that they all kind of picked the same central circulation that had that convection ongoing. But recently, that was proven wrong by the National Hurricane Center, and so the models are still going to be a little bit haywire. But they are starting to come to a more decisive conclusion that Louisiana could be our target area as this thing moves in. So here we have the official National Hurricane Center forecast track for what will become Tropical Storm Barry. And just recently at 4 p.m. today, they issued their hurricane watches pretty much for the entire coast of Louisiana and some tropical storm watches for the area just around New Orleans. And we do know for sure that this system is expected to become a tropical storm by tomorrow, and then before it moves on land, it is expected to become a hurricane. That's why these hurricane watches were issued. But I do want to point out that anywhere within this cone is something to be watching out for, because this is the cone of uncertainty. This cone means that the center of the storm can pass over this area. And what that means is just that the center could be there, but its effects are going to be much wider than this cone. So anyone on the Gulf states, as I've said before, anyone in the Gulf states really needs to be paying attention to this storm and monitor the storm's development. So here we have 3 images from 3 of our major models for Tropical Storm and or Hurricane Barry. And it's really important to note that with the NAM here on the right, this is an anomaly in our forecasts. None of the other major models are predicting anything like this. And so need to be very wary of this. People might go trying to post this around on social media. Just remember to pay attention to what the official forecasts are. And the official forecast falls in line with what the GFS and the ECMWF are showing, which is a Category 1 landfall. And while we have it here, we can see that these systems will be driving this wind right up into the southern Louisiana area. And we know that this area is very prone to flooding, and it's really important that people in this area be paying attention to this, because this will cause some storm surge. And here we have the storm surge flooding map from the National Hurricane Center with the storm, and we see, of course, areas closer to the storm will be experiencing a lot more flooding from storm surge, up to 3 feet, what they're showing right now. But the wider effects will be felt pretty much all the way from East Texas all the way up to Mobile. So it's really important to be paying attention to what this system is doing, because as we get closer and closer to landfall, obviously these numbers will be adjusted for certain areas, and we'll know a lot better with what this system will be doing in terms of storm surge. And with that storm surge, we could be seeing large amounts of rain falling at the same time. We see here just this large nose of higher amounts of rain moving into the Gulf states. And so it's obviously going to be really important that you pay attention to the local officials and you know which areas around you flood easily, and just prepare yourself to have to evacuate if the order does come, because there's some areas in southern Louisiana that could get 10, 15 inches of rain on top of storm surge flooding and damaging winds. So this could be a very deadly system, and it's very important that you pay attention to what your local officials say. Those official forecasts are available at nhc.noaa.gov, and it's really important that you heed those forecasts and heed any warnings issued by them. So thanks for watching, and I'll try and get another update video tomorrow.